Have you ever looked around and felt like the world just got quieter? Maybe the phone doesn't ring as often as it used to. The kids are grown, busy with their own lives. Friends may have moved away or sadly passed on. And in those long, quiet evenings, it hits you. You're growing old alone. If that thought has ever crossed your mind, even just for a moment, I want you to know something very important. Being alone doesn't mean being lonely. And growing older alone doesn't mean your life has to shrink. In fact, this chapter of life can be beautiful, fulfilling, and surprisingly joyful, if you choose to make it so. Today we're going to talk about exactly that. How to build a beautiful, meaningful life even if you're growing older on your own. Not just how to get by or make the best of it, but how to truly live, love, and thrive in your own company. Let's begin where most people feel it the strongest, the quiet moments. You know those times when you wake up in the morning and there's no one there to say good morning to, or when the sun sets and there's no one to share a meal or a story with. Those moments can either feel like a deep ache or a peaceful stillness, depending on how we fill them. One of the first and most powerful things you can do is to create a daily rhythm that you actually look forward to. Not just a routine for brushing your teeth and taking your medicine, but a rhythm that brings you joy, peace, and a sense of purpose. Think about how a favorite song has its own beat. Your life can have that too. Maybe you start your mornings with a warm cup of tea and 10 minutes by the window just watching the birds. Maybe it's journaling a few thoughts before breakfast, or calling a friend every Thursday. It doesn't have to be grand, it just has to be yours. Creating simple rituals gives your days structure and meaning, and over time, those small habits become anchors. They help you feel grounded, not drifting. Now, once you have that sense of rhythm, the next piece is just as important. Connection. Yes, even when you live alone. Because no matter your age, your heart still needs connection like your body needs water. But here's the truth that many don't talk about. The old ways of connecting may not work anymore. You may not be able to drop by a neighbor's house or meet friends at the cafe like you once did. That's okay. It just means it's time to get creative. If you love writing, consider joining a letter writing group or starting one yourself. You'd be amazed how meaningful it is to receive a handwritten note, even from someone you've never met in person. If technology doesn't scare you, there are video calls, online classes, and community message boards full of people just like you looking for conversation, friendship, and purpose. And if you're not ready to dive into the digital world, that's perfectly fine too. Old-fashioned connection still works beautifully. Try volunteering, even just a few hours a week. Whether it's helping at a food pantry, folding clothes at a local shelter, or simply showing up at a church or library event, it brings you around people. And being around people, even in small doses, reminds you that you still have value. You still belong. Of course, there will be days when loneliness creeps in. That's human. But here's a little mindset shift that helped me, and it might help you too. Instead of thinking I'm alone, try saying I'm with myself. There's a big difference. Being with yourself is an opportunity. It's a chance to get to know who you are now, not who you were 30 or 40 years ago. You've changed. You've grown. And there's something very special about taking this time to rediscover what makes you feel alive. Maybe it's painting or gardening or learning something new just because you can. You don't need permission. You don't need an audience. Just the courage to say, I'm still here and my life still matters. And that brings me to something that so many people overlook: self-respect. When we live alone, it's easy to start letting go of the little things. Maybe we stop dressing up, we skip meals, we forget to celebrate our own birthday. But let me tell you something, those little things are exactly where your dignity lives. So go ahead and wear that favorite scarf, even if no one will see it. Make a proper breakfast, even if you're the only one eating it. Light a candle in the evening. Make your space cozy. Keep your home clean. not for guests, but for you. These simple acts say, I matter. And when you send that message to yourself daily, something inside you shifts. You feel stronger, more confident, and yes, even more hopeful. It's also important to talk about the inner voice, the one that whispers doubts, the one that sometimes says, it's too late for me. That voice, it lies. Because here's the truth, every single day you wake up is a fresh chance to write a new page. You are not too old, too slow, too late, or too alone to live beautifully. That's not just a nice idea, it's reality. The only question is whether you believe it, and believing it takes practice. One of the best ways to build that belief is to celebrate your wins, no matter how small they seem. Did you get outside today for a walk? That's a win. Did you call someone? Big win. Did you make your bed and smile at yourself in the mirror? That's a celebration. Life doesn't need to be big to be beautiful. It just needs to be noticed. Now that we've talked about building a rhythm, staying connected in new ways, and showing yourself the respect and care you deserve, let's keep going. Because growing older alone doesn't have to be something we fear. It can be something we embrace, with grace, with courage, and with open arms. You know, one of the most overlooked treasures of growing older, especially when you're on your own, is freedom. Now, I know at first that word might feel a little strange. Freedom at this age? Really? But think about it for a moment. No more alarm clocks set by someone else's schedule. No more expectations from a busy workplace. No more kids needing something every 5 minutes. You've spent your whole life showing up for others. Now, for maybe the first time in decades, you get to ask, what do I want? That question might feel uncomfortable at first. Many of us, especially in older generations, were taught to take care of everyone else before ourselves. We got so good at it, in fact, that we forgot how to listen to our own voice. But that voice is still in there, and now is the perfect time to let it speak. Start small. Ask yourself, what brings me joy that I haven't done in years? What do I want to try just for the fun of it? Maybe it's learning how to bake sourdough bread. Maybe it's finally picking up a paintbrush. Maybe it's dancing in your living room to old tunes from your youth. You don't have to justify your joy to anyone. You just have to follow it. And here's the thing, when you begin to follow what lights you up inside, you start to glow on the outside too. People notice, your energy shifts, your mood lifts, you walk taller. And that inner light, it has a way of attracting new people, new opportunities, and yes, even new friendships. Now I want to talk about something that surprises a lot of people, the power of curiosity. Staying curious is one of the most powerful ways to stay mentally sharp, emotionally balanced, and spiritually alive. It doesn't matter if you're 60, 70, or 90, your brain is still capable of wonder. And wonder doesn't always come from big adventures. Sometimes it comes from asking little questions like, what's growing in my neighborhood this season? Or how does this gadget work? Or even, what would it be like to meditate for 5 minutes today? Curiosity keeps you engaged with life. It keeps you open instead of closed. And when you're living alone, that openness can be your greatest companion. It's what turns the ordinary into something special. For example, maybe you go on a walk around your block, not just to stretch your legs, but to notice. How many different birds do you hear? What kind of flowers are blooming? Who else is out walking? When you bring curiosity to your day, life starts to feel a little less empty and a lot more full. And speaking of fullness, let's take a moment to talk about your environment. Your space, the place you call home, can either drain your spirit or lift it up. When you live alone, your home becomes your mirror. So ask yourself, does your space feel like a reflection of who you are now, or is it stuck in the past? It's okay if you've held onto things out of habit or nostalgia. That's natural. But sometimes, letting go of old clutter can make room for new energy to come in. Start by clearing out just one drawer or one shelf. Keep what makes you smile. Release what feels heavy. Fill your home with things that make you feel cozy, safe, and inspired, even if it's just a soft lamp and a fresh plant in the window. And don't underestimate the power of beauty. Fresh flowers, sunlight, soft music, a tidy space. These things may seem small, but they send a message to your soul. You deserve to live in a place that feels good. Not just livable, but lovable. Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about something many seniors struggle with, but rarely discuss openly: feeling invisible. It's a quiet feeling that sneaks up on you in the grocery store when no one says hello, or when your ideas are brushed off because you're just old. That kind of invisibility can wear on a person's spirit. But here's the truth. You are not invisible. You are not irrelevant. You have decades of wisdom, experience, humor, stories, strength. The challenge is not whether you matter. You do. The challenge is whether you remember that you matter. So, how do you reclaim your sense of presence? One powerful way is to create. When you create something, whether it's a story, a garden, a photo, a piece of music, or even just a beautifully arranged meal, you put a piece of yourself into the world. 4:45 p.m. 6/6/2025, Sajid 4950. And the world needs more of you. Creating doesn't require fancy tools or artistic talent. It just takes a willingness to express yourself. Maybe you write down a few memories each day. Maybe you sing while doing the dishes. Maybe you start sketching your dreams or organizing family photos. When you create, you leave a trace of yourself behind, and in doing so, you remember, I am here, I matter, I'm still living. And don't underestimate the beauty of sharing. Whether it's offering advice to a young neighbor, recording a video diary for your grandkids, or teaching someone how to knit or cook or repair something, what you know has value. Don't wait for someone to ask. Offer. Step into that role as an elder, not with sadness, but with pride. You see, growing old alone doesn't mean growing old without purpose. Your purpose might look different now, but it's still alive and well. It might be quieter, more gentle, more internal, but it's still there. And one last thing, because it matters deeply. Laughter. Please don't forget to laugh. Watch silly videos, call that one friend who always makes you giggle, laugh at your own cooking mistakes, or the way your cat seems to run the household. Laughter is the soul's way of stretching. It reminds you that even when life is serious, it doesn't always have to feel heavy. So far, we've talked about reclaiming your freedom, staying curious, creating beauty, honoring your space, and choosing joy. All of these are more than just ideas. They are ways of living, tools you can use to turn solitude into something sacred. Growing older alone isn't a punishment. It's a path. And like any good path, it has twists and turns, moments of peace and moments of challenge. But every step forward is yours to take, and every step you take in love, joy, or curiosity is a step toward a life that still has so much to give. Let's keep walking this path together, because there's still more to uncover, more ways to find beauty, purpose, and peace in your everyday life. 4:45 p.m., 6/6/2025, Sajid 4950. There's something truly powerful about realizing you are still the author of your own story. No matter how many chapters have already been written, the next page is still blank, and you get to decide what goes on it. That realization alone can be both freeing and a little scary, but it's also incredibly hopeful. You see, one of the most beautiful things about getting older is that you finally have time to slow down and live with intention. You no longer have to rush through life, checking off to-do lists or climbing ladders that don't lead where your heart wants to go. Now you can pause, breathe, and choose, really choose, what your days look like. And one of the most important choices you can make when you're living alone is this: choose connection, even in small ways. We often think of connection as something big and dramatic, deep friendships, romantic love, family gatherings, but connection doesn't always need to be that grand. Sometimes it's a warm hello to your neighbor, a short chat with the cashier, a friendly nod to someone you see on your morning walk. These little moments of shared humanity are like tiny threads that stitch you into the fabric of the world. They remind you that you belong. If you're feeling isolated, here's something that might help. Become the one who reaches out first. Yes, I know. It can feel uncomfortable, even vulnerable. But don't wait for the world to knock on your door. Knock on its door. Leave a kind comment online. Join a local book club or walking group. Volunteer at the library, a food pantry, or an animal shelter. When you put yourself in the path of others, you create chances for real connection to grow. And sometimes connection isn't even about people. It can come from nature, the way a bird builds its nest, the way flowers reach for the sun, the sound of leaves rustling in the wind. Sitting quietly on your porch or near a window and simply noticing can bring a sense of calm and wonder that fills up those quiet spaces inside you. Another powerful way to build a meaningful life when you're living alone is to practice daily rituals, not routines. Those can sometimes feel like chores. I'm talking about rituals, small, intentional acts that bring comfort and a sense of grounding to your day. Maybe it's lighting a candle while you eat breakfast, or listening to soft music while you wash the dishes. Maybe it's writing one sentence in a journal each night before bed. These rituals are like anchors. They give your day shape, texture, rhythm. And in times when life feels uncertain or lonely, they become gentle reminders that you are cared for, even if that care is coming from you. Speaking of care, let's talk about something else that often gets overlooked when you live alone. Taking care of your body. It's easy to let some things slide when there's no one else around. Maybe you skip meals or eat whatever's quick. Maybe you stop moving as much or put off doctor appointments. It happens, and you're not alone if it does. But your health is the foundation of your independence and your joy. So give your body the same love and attention you would give to someone you cherish, because you are someone worth cherishing. Start with gentle movement each day. Even 5 or 10 minutes can make a difference. Stretch your arms overhead. Walk in place while watching TV. Do light exercises while holding onto a chair. Your body craves movement. It keeps your joints fluid, your muscles strong, and your mind clear. And food. Oh, food is medicine, but it's also joy. Cooking for one doesn't have to be sad or boring. It can be a beautiful act of self-respect. Try making something colorful and fresh. Even a simple bowl of soup or a smoothie can be healing. And don't forget to hydrate. Water truly is a secret elixir for energy and clarity. Now I want to gently touch on something that many people carry quietly as they age: regret. When you're alone and the house is quiet, your mind sometimes travels back, maybe to mistakes or missed chances or people you've lost. Regret is a normal part of the human experience, but here's the truth. You do not have to live in it. Instead of asking, why did that happen? Or why didn't I do it differently? Try asking, what did I learn? Or what can I do with that pain now? You are still evolving. You are still allowed to grow, heal, forgive, even if it's just forgiving yourself. Especially if it's forgiving yourself. Let go of the weight that no longer serves you. You deserve peace, you deserve lightness, and you deserve to walk through the rest of your life with your head held high, not because it was perfect, but because you're still here, trying, showing up. Now maybe you're wondering, is it really possible to feel truly happy at this stage of life all on my own? And my answer to you is yes. Not every moment will feel blissful. That's not how life works. But a beautiful life isn't about constant joy. It's about meaning, purpose, peace, moments of laughter, connections that matter, kindness given and received. A beautiful life isn't made in grand gestures. It's made in the quiet strength of your daily choices. Choosing to get up and greet the day. Choosing to find beauty in small things. Choosing to care for yourself with tenderness. Choosing to stay open to connection, even if it takes time. You may be growing older. You may be living alone. But you are not alone in your experience. There are millions of others just like you, brave, wise, and still searching for beauty in the everyday. And your story matters. If this video spoke to you, please share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear about your journey, your wisdom, or even just how you're doing today. And if you found comfort or inspiration here, give this video a like and don't forget to subscribe. This space is for you, a place to feel seen, heard, and valued. Keep going, keep growing, and always remember, you have more strength, more grace, and more life left than you may realize. Here's to living your best life at any age, in your own way.